device, especially that is the device, I can say the input and output device. Memory, the memory concern in the we are previously discussed the human memory. I'll come to the system computer memory also. Some types of memory we discussed. At last previous class, I tell that is the framework and ergonomics. So now I'm going to summary of the. Now I'm going to give the summary of the two topics. One is the framework. Later on, that is the ergonomics. Here in the here in the that is the models, that is we can say the framework. I can say the models of interaction. Here in the models of interaction, especially that is why we need the interaction, especially the human computer interaction was studied. Here the interaction, what scenario the user, here the people may know what is the scenarios going on. That is the we have to discuss the models of interaction, especially the four components involved. One is the system, user, in input and output. Here, especially while we downloading or we can do any manipulation, I can feed any application. What is the processing work? The user must know. That is how we can say the models of interaction. So here in the system can know the core language. Here as a user we know the task language. Task language, what operation we do. What is the necessary, what necessary we are doing like this. That is a task language. So next we have the framework, especially the framework consists of the four components. One is the articulation, performance, presentation, and observation. In between the one component, I'm going to refer another component. There are four steps that are taken into account. I told, that is the input, manipulation, translation, and execution. Why the four steps are needed? These four steps are needed to do. I'm going to translate. I'm going to from one state to another state. That is, I can say that the state I can refer the translation. I can say that the articulation, performance, presentation, and observation we discuss. Here in the here the four steps are taken into account. Here the user, that is, I can feed some set of instruction commands. I can say that the input, the machine assess the input that can be transformed into the core language in order to do the manipulation. Next one is the translation. The input is translated into core language, that then only the operation that has to be performed. That is, I can say the translation. Here after the execution has to be performed, it can be going for the evolution. So then only it can be entered into a new state. I told that is that the execution phase of the incomplete, and the evolution phase it will become glow. The four steps are to perform for the four components: articulation, that is I told articulation, observation, performance, and observation. Presentation, observation, performance, and articulation. So next topic we discussed the ergonomics. Here the ergonomics, especially here the framework or interaction. First, here the user know what is going on, what scenario is going on. Then only the user must compulsorily know. Then only according to the situation the user can react. So for example, if you download some tools, here what user have to wait. In that case, some alert message we need to note down. Wait for 20 seconds, 25 seconds. So that only according to the situation user can able to wait, or otherwise unnecessary user click the some operation or 2 times download. It shows the blurriness of the system. Okay, so here the ergonomics, here they show the characteristic of the interaction. Here the characteristic, I can say the physical characteristic interaction. Here the 5 things, that the arrangements of control and display, physical environment of the interaction, health issues, use of color, ergonomics, and HCA. Here there is we have to say that we are deeply discuss all the things, especially that is the arrangements of control, the waiting purpose, physical environment according to situation, what reaction, what is going on, better note down. Then the health issues, the aged people was, that is the youngsters, use of color, that is the brightness, everything, that is some of the external factors. What is the interpretation? That's the ergonomics and HCA we are deeply discussed. So now we are going here. Here in this class, the interaction style. that is near to the end of the first unit. Here the interaction, especially interaction. Some many times I told here interaction taken place between the device and the user. The device and the user. That is, I can say device. I can say that is the computer. Here, so what are the interface style that can be referred in the system, especially in the PC? So totally the command line interface, menu, natural language, question and answer, and query dialog, form fill, and spreadsheet. WIMP, window icon menu pointer. WIMP stand for window icon menu pointer. Point and click, and last finally 3 dimension. So till now, that is in the previous class, that is the 7th class, this is the 8th class. So here in the previous slide, PPT presentation, especially I can use the color. Initially, I have to tell, here I can use only the white color background, because there are some students in here in the say that is what I'm listening class through mobile. It is convenient to use, so you use the white color as a background so that I can choose. It is a common feedback for all, not only for you, for entire, for all the years also I heard, so that I can choose. So it's no problem. We can see anywhere. It is comfortable to you also. Okay. So now we can now we come to the discussion. The first thing that the command line interface. Here in the command line interface, what is the command? Here one of the type in interaction style. Here the command lines in interface. Here I'm going to some set of instructions are there. Here through the function key, I'm going to do some operation. The operation that, for example, simple thing, I'm going to open the document or close the document. I'm going to save the document. Everything is in the command instruction only. So I have to type some instructions, some commands. So that is the thing. That is it expresses the instruction to the computer directly. I want to express the user want to express the instruction to the computer directly through the means of functional key, that may be of either abbreviation or through the functional key or we have typed some commands. Okay, that is for example, I'm going to click that is the save option. Is there some of the programming here F2 here, especially C programming, I can use the F2 as a function key. Here that is thing. For example, or otherwise I can save the document, whatever. I can use some function key, or I can do some operation. I can type some commands. But there is some what is the flexibility? So I can directly access the function directly. It should be flexible. That is the advantage. So here also the number of options or parameter that will vary its behavior. So number of options are there. The option that may be referred to the save operation, insert operation, or opening the document operation, like that. So based on the parameter, it should be varied. So that is the command line interface. But here in the command line interface, while we come to the programming technique, here normally open and closing documents is different. That's a normal thing. While we go for the programming technique, if we having the proper syntax, then only it will open. For example, here in the slide, I can say that the Java example, good example. Here the Java C followed by the file name.java. Then only the compilation taken place. Next thing is what? Java followed by the file name. So if you know well about the syntax of running compiling the program, then only it will work. But here that is okay. Well, so that is some of the things we can say. Normal document is okay. So while you go for the programming, if the person is new to you, some struggling. So that is a disadvantage. Here the commands must be remembered. We have to remember all the syntax. So therefore it is only for the expert user only, compared to the older people, new one. So that is, I can say, the better for expert user than for the novice. That is a newcomer. That is by using the consistent, instead of simply typing the abbreviation, I have to type some sentence like that. some group of words, it's a disadvantage. The command should be in the term within the vocabulary. That means what? Vocabulary, that means what? I can say the syntax is proper. Then only it will work. So the commands are often executed and vary across the system. So sometimes it will cause the confusion to the users, because due to the overhead of learning, because I have not only the compilation and executing, some more operation I have to learn. So it will take, some of the older people cause the confusion or irritate to the people, some of the irritation like that. So that is the disadvantage of using the command line arguments, command line interface. Okay, next thing we go for the, so that I can improve the menu. Here the menu, what's the menu? The set of, here the options already available in the application. The user have to choose the one option, that is a menu. You're already familiar with it, especially if you can use along with the mouse. Or some of the things they will ask, or some option is there, 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. I can choose either among the four, I can choose either 2 or 3, 4 like that. I can take the number or click the number. Okay. So here the option are visible. Okay. So that is recognition. So I want the recognition. Just so nothing to memory, nothing to remember the commands. Just I want to, while I see the menu, I can recognize. So it is recognition. I already told you recognition is better than the recall. Recall refer to the, refer in the instruction only, not in the menu base. So that is, it goes with the recognition. So menu, it should be here also, it should be properly hierarchically ordered. Then only it is convenient for the user to choose the item correctly. So great. Meanwhile, one more thing, the grouping and naming of the menu option is, then only it will identify for the user to choose an item. For example, if I choose the if department year, department CSC, EC, it is there. Year, first, second, third, we can choose. Here the field of specialization. Specialization, here that is the thing, your area of interest like that. So here in the area of interest, they will ask some networking, data mining, here the machine learning they will ask. So that is the your interest area we have to choose. So I can give the proper menu name. Then only the user can able to choose the item correctly. Okay, that is the menu bar. Here I can see some example here, especially when you go for the ATM, what menu you identify? That is especially what, that means what? Here while you go for the ATM, that is what, that is, I think that is a choose, that is a note down, withdraw, deposit, like that. No, especially only that is the change the pin number. Here what, while you go for, after typing everything, what type of account savings are current, like that. So according to this application, the proper menu items are there. So likewise, there is a proper items you have to be allocated based on the names correctly. That is the interaction style. Third interface, that is the natural language. Here the natural language, why we go for the natural language? Anybody say? So okay, the first I can say that the command line, here in the command line, if you know well about the proper syntax of the particular operation, particular application, then only you can do. While we come to natural language, this is a common thing only. So that is a interface. For example, here the best example, you can say about Google. Google is the best example. Normally, I can type some set of words. Okay, here searching the document or tool, it is easy to retrieve the document. So here according to the importance, here the Google search engine can identify our information. Okay, so it is not necessary here it is not necessary to type the set of words in a proper way, clear way. Just that's a keyword is important. That is the thing here. That is unable to remember the concept, unable to remember the set of hierarchy allows the set of menus. So that is the thing. Here, but here the natural language representation, two types are there. One is the speech, next one the return input, that is thing. But here in some cases it shows the ambiguity. What is the ambiguity? Several ways are generated. So, okay, while you searching the item in a Google, no problem. Several search web tools are displayed, no problem. But some of the applications which cause it difficult for the machine to understand. So the ambiguity of the natural language make it difficult for the machine to understand. It shows the ambiguity. Okay, that's a drawback in the natural language. Next we come to the question and answer. That is, I can say the query dialog section. Query dialog section. What is simple thing? Especially it is applicable in the web application form. What is the, for example, if they tell the name, next one is your address. What about your mail ID? What about your contact number? Like that. Suppose anything, for example, if you go to the for purchasing an item like that, we have to choose the items like that. We have to specify, we have to type some item name also. So according to the question, we have to simply type the words that may be either within the 3 or 4 words only. It is easy only. Some of the things only we have to type elaborately according to the applications. So according to the need of the customer, according to the need of the user, we have to design the query question like that. Then only the user can give the correct and enough information. Okay, is it correct or not? So here also there is a well-defined syntax phrase defined. We can use a well-defined syntax phrase, especially for the questions. Okay, that's as well as the knowledge of the database structure. So that is a question and answer dialog. It is a simple application. Just we have to provide the input to the application and retrieve the documents. This question and answer dialog is applicable in the web application form, in some business application or some other applications also. Next one is the form fill and spreadsheet. Here in the form fill and spreadsheet, especially come to know, especially I can see you immediately say as Excel sir. Here especially in the here here in the RIT also, training and placement department, collecting your data through the what? That is the Excel. That is the spreadsheets only. What about your address, phone number? What about your father name, contact number, and your DOB? That is the general information. While you come to the academics, what about your CGPA, semester-wise GPA? What about stuff? Everything, extracurricular activities, everything. You are already familiar with this applications. So here that is a form fill and spreadsheet. It is primarily used for the data entry. Main thing is not only is primarily used for the data entry, but it's also useful in data retrieval application. Here data retrieval among the you are asking here in the RIT placements and training cell, you are given that there's nearly 60 columns item like that. I want to retrieve the particular set of data also in an easy manner. Okay. Here the display is based on the actual form from which the user is familiar. So generally it is easy interface to the user. So here also we have to fill up the appropriate values. So here telephone number, contact number, just you are typing only what? 10-digit number. Okay. So here in the DOB, date, month followed by the year. Like that. Here in the marks. Here in the spreadsheet also I can specify somewhat lower bond and upper bond. For example, we are going to enter your marks. We can give the value between 0 to 100. Here in the telephone number, we can give only 10-digit number. If I not unfortunately, if you type 9 9 digit or 11 digit, it shows some error. We can put such property also in the spreadsheet. So especially this dialog style is useful primarily for the data entry application. Okay, listen, dear students, here also, especially in the beautiful white screen background, I can give the some major points, not only in the first class and the first slide onwards. I can give the color representation. Please note down the color points because it is a catchable point. It is easy to remember the main point. From this catchable point, we can able to recall some more information also. This is a very important thing. The last 2 days back also, I sent what I taught all the slide to your mail. Okay. Next, we come to the sixth point as the point and click interface. Yeah, the interface. Yeah, that's I want. Especially it is applicable in the multimedia system and in web browser. Here, that is we can say that single click operation by the mouse. Single click operation by the mouse. Just only what? That is I am going to click. Here, especially not it is easy applicable in to the mobiles also. Here, especially in the mobiles, we can use the touch screen. No, we can easily choose the items. We can easily do. So that is the pointing device. It is applicable to the entry to the pointing device, especially menu device. That is we can say the word with the help of that is the I like the words map and icon buttons. Especially it is popularized by the World Wide Web. Especially not necessary to give we can type only, we can simply click. We can enter the application, our necessary application. It can be applicable in the multimedia system and web browser. Next one is the pointing and click interface. What is the pointing and click interface? Here it can be popularized by the World Wide Web pages also. Here, especially nowadays, this here in the PPT also we can give. Here, what especially it is also helpful in the application forms. So here in the application forms, lot of menus are there. One is that is the checkbox item. Checkbox, that means what? Tick. Gender, male or female, like that. We have to choose the tick operation. Here, that is the radio buttons. Here in the PPT, what is the radio buttons? In the PPT, you see, first class, second class. That is the thing as that is I can choose the radio buttons, menu bar items, like that within the screen. Yes, especially that is it can be. It is mainly applicable for all the application form. Nowadays, actually, point and click interface only they feed in the major of the website according to the convenience also for both the agent and the user. Okay, you follow. Especially the point and click interface is the famous one in the World Wide Web pages. Next, we come to the seventh type, that the WMP interface. Window, icon, menu, and pointer. Okay, so this interface play majority of the interactive system. Okay, especially it can be used in the PC and desktop working station area. Window, icon, menu, pointer. Especially the WMP interface. Don't forget some examples. One time they will ask in the unit exam also give an example for WMP interface. Here in the PPT, I mentioned as the Microsoft Windows for IBM PC compatibles, Mac OS for Apple. Next one is the Macintosh compatibles and various Windows system for units. So it's totally 4 I mentioned, especially 2 I can show the red board. Please note down this example. One time they asked in the unit exam, so that one day I can mention examples of WMP interface. Here, don't forget the expansion of WIMP interface. WIMP interface. Window, icon, menus, and pointers. So last we come to the last interface, that is a three-dimension interface. You're already studied in the input-output device. Especially, I'm going to playing game in the PC. Here, for not only the two-dimension, I can move. That is a upward also. That's the three-dimension interface. That is, it is increasing use of the three-dimension affects the user interface. That the VR virtual road is only part of the range of 3D technique. Here, what are the WMP elements are referred buttons, scoreboard, especially then only it is given to be viewed as a three-dimensional appearance using shading. Especially here the interface have a light source at the top right. So then only by this interface, this a three-dimensional interface, especially applicable for the game playing. So many children are using this interface playing games in the PC. So the discriminant is useless. Here, unfortunately, some drawbacks is there because the third dimension is there. You have to measure what is the height. It should be reflected within the two-dimension screen. We can use the three-dimension, but operation we can see only within the two-dimension only. So the complex technique use interface with 3D workspaces are there. Some movement is some problem. Memory is also large. So that is the thing we have to see. Okay. Okay. So totally we discussed the 8 types. We can say that is the thing. Once again, I'm going to tell that here in the interaction style. There are a number of interface styles include here in the PPI, especially the 8 major commonly used interface style I mentioned. One is the here I can say that the command line interface. Okay, here in the command lines in the PPT I can forget to put the Roman letter 1. That is it is the first one. A command line interface, not menu. The menu is not the first one. The command line interface is the first one. Menu, natural language, question and answer, the query dialog, form, fill and spreadsheet, WMP interface, point and click. 8th one is the three-dimension interface. So totally 8 types are deeply discussed along with some advantage, along with some of the disadvantage also. We can write easily. If you remember the 8 titles along with the well-known points, the well-known points I mentioned in that with the help of color points, you can easily write in your own at any time, not able to forget. So whatever I send the PPT students, please go through it. While I taking the class also, please note about the catchable points. Then only it is easy to remember effectively. In between any doubts, we can give some information. We can give through the chat also. I'm ready to answer, or other I can tell in next class. Okay. So now we come to the elements of WMP interface in this class. Now, especially window icon menu pointers are especially say what is a toolkit for play the interaction between the user and system. It tell immediately. Okay. Now we can see the detail where what is window icon pointer and menu. Okay. The windows. Yeah, windows, especially that's the wide area seen up here in the PC. Especially it is a textual and graphical representation. We can reduce the size also. That is the thing. We can view, not only we can view a single window, at a single time I can view the multiple windows in the screen also. At a single time opening many windows also. That's only the window operating system popularized in the 96 first initially came 24 years back, 25 years back. Yeah, the windows on then only the game is given the name as window. So window can be on the screen at once. It can separate the task at visible at all times. So multiple windows I can open. I can choose whenever I need. So the user can direct the attention to the different windows. That means I can switch from one window to another windows immediately. Then I can see the windows. Here the windows. Here Here we can see that is some screen that is window. Within the window, I can opening sub windows also. We can click and do all the sub windows. It can be resized into smaller one. We can easily work. Especially back window, it should be partially observed because some information is to be collapsed. Is to collide with the new window. So that the thing. So something if you opening multiple windows at the time only, there is a collapsing occur. So windows can be tailed so that what we can reduce to it is convenient for the user. It will set like that. It can be reduced fully. We can reduce partially like that. Then because not avoiding the collapsing, not avoiding confusion, so that only reducing the fully size or partial size, that convenience is also there. With the help of scroll bar also we can move the content of the window up or down. That may be either from left or right. With the help of scroll bar, so everything is done. All the features they according to the necessity for our lifestyle. That is the windows also designed like that. Okay, that next we come to the second thing. That's the icon. Here the windows can be closed and closed forever. So here the icon that is a small picture. It is used to represent it. That is what. Here I want to reduce the window. I want to close the window. So I have to choose some option. That option, that is with the help of that is icon. Especially it is placed the right hand side of the window. This is a small picture. Through just simply click the icon, it reduces. It will close. Whenever immediately we can open. So many windows can be available on the screen at the same time. So we can close or ready to expand fully according to the choosing the icon window. So here iconifying the window. What is iconifying the window? Shrinking, that is reducing the window to its icon, is known as iconifying the window. Now don't forget the word iconifying. I will ask the exam also. Shrinking the window to its icon is known as iconifying the window. So here the some of the icons menu. I can save that. We have to see this type of icon. So that is show the what. That is the icon save space. Not only opening and closing. We can save what. That is what. Here while we come to the especially MS Word, we can see so many icons are there. Especially for closing, opening, saving, that updating like that. Some of the things. So you are all familiar with it. We have to take the printer also. What printer symbol is there? That is the beautiful icons are there. So now we come to the pointers. So that menu icon, window icon, menu pointers. This is right. So that is the window icon, menu pointer. Here the pointer. So pointer is an important component in the WMP interface. Here that is why, especially so here I can choose the menu. How I can choose especially that is the cursor movement, especially the mouse only take care of responsibility for the cursor movement. That is a pointing device. Especially now here not only mouse, I can use the joystick or trackball. That is here while I use the cursor then and there within the window, here also some symbols are there. That symbol I can give in this PPT. While here the cursor is moving then within all the area in the PC. What symbol? That is here I can give we can change the symbol for our style, for our necessity. That is a thing. Watch our glass cursor may be displayed when the system is busy or reading a line. That is I can say the pointing device. So that's the window. Then I can say again the menu I can elaborately I'm going to discuss. That is the menu. The last feature of the Windows system is the menu. So menu especially provides some important cues in the form of art. Here about some in previous slide I told what I told. Here I can maintain some hierarchy of menu. Then only the user can choose the item correctly in a clear and in a clear way, clear mind thought way. So here the point interval we can show some desired option also. Here within the menu, submenus also are there. Selection based upon the menu adjacent to them. So that is the name used for the commands in the menu. So meanwhile, I told you, especially in the menu, we have to give the good name in the command. Then only the user can choose the item in a correct, in a decent manner. Name of the menu and the hierarchy should be clear. That's very important thing. Okay. So that is the thing. The server's cascading line menus are there. Here the menu also pop-up menu, pull down menu, fall down menu are there. Especially here the pop-up menu, that is the context sensitive option. So context, that means what? We are examining the particular screen object. I choose the one menu, I can view only particular screen only. But if we come to the pull down menu, a title at the top of the menu, by moving the mouse pointer into a title bar area and pressing the items. See in the figure, several menus are there. I can click the font, typewriter, screen, some obscure 3 options are there, and I can choose. Similarly, we go for the fall down menu also. So the moment I enter the title area, without the user pressing, I have to press the button. So just remember the 3 types: pop-up menu, pull down menu, and fall down menu. So totally, how many types are there? Pop-up, pull down, fall down. So don't forget the three types of menu. Next one is the buttons. Buttons are the individual and isolated region within a display that can be selected by the user to invoke some operation. That is especially push button. If you click in some application, we note down the push button now. If you click the push, that's the click. It will go. It will interface. That is a new window web page. It will open. You are already familiar with these applications also. Instead of giving the commands, that's invoking the command. That means what? It invokes the commands. It can be shown by the small icon or labels. Last one is the toolbox, palettes, and dialog box. Toolbox is similar to the menu. So the icon is smaller than the equivalent size. Palettes are a mechanism for making the set of possible nodes and active node visible to the user. Set of possible modes and active mode visible to the user. Especially, I can say it's a collection of icons that are reminiscent of the purpose of various use. Reminiscent of what? That's the what? That's the function. Next one is the dialog box. Dialog box are the information window used by the system to bring the user attention to some important information. That is what it should be. That is a dialog box. We have to give the alert. I already told you, while you're downloading one application, so one message will come. Wait for 20 seconds. Wait for 25 seconds. Why? So instead of multiple times we can download, or multiple windows opening, in order to avoid these types of collapsing and blurring effort, so that what immediately one message will come. That is the dialog box. Then only we have the alert. Is it right or not? Okay, download last 3 minutes of the day. Okay, just I want to recall this topic. Okay, here in the class, that is a thing. So here in this class, especially what type we discuss, students, interaction styles. Here in the interaction style, how many styles we discuss? Anybody say? Totally how many styles? 8 styles we have to discuss clearly. Okay, along with some advantage and disadvantage, especially here the command line interface, menu, here the menu and I can say what is the natural language, question and answer section, I can say query dialog, form fill spreadsheet, pointing device, that is clickable interface, along with some good screenshot, WIP, window icon, menu pointer interface. Last one is the 3-dimensional interface. So totally, I tell clearly all the 8 types along with some advantage and disadvantage. So don't forget the 8 types. Next one, especially here in the WIMP, I expand the expansion window icon menu pointer. So here the screenshot, that is a pointer come, that is menu. Okay, don't put like that. Window icon, menu and pointer. Window icon followed by the menu. After that only you can put in the pointers. Okay. Here that is a WAMP interface. Here I can tell that is the Windows properties. What is the need and attention of the Windows? What are the symbols? What are the observation notable in the Windows? How we can move the content of the window to the means of scroll bar. I told here in the icon. Here in the icon also what is the? It says I can show that it's a small picture. Especially this is for closing, opening the document, opening the windows. We can reduce the size partially. I close the windows totally. As I can see what iconifying the window. And we can say that we are discussed. Next one is the pointing. Here, especially in the cursor move then and there within the available surface area in the screen through means of the symbols. I disperse that is especially this slide shows the so many symbols. That is the pointer symbols. Okay, so next one is the menu also. Here the menu, I can define we can choose some set of items. Here to 3 types I told, that is the pop-up menu, pull down menu and fall down menu. That is the menu types. So now we come to the last, that is the buttons, especially what is the button? Especially we can say the good example push button. Then only it will enter into the new window. It can be, especially I can say that I can design the control panel. You already notable. Some more elements I can say the toolbar, especially that is what additional bar. So because some important bar only we place in the menu, instead of some additional bar also we can be similar to the some more bars menu items are there. That is I can refer the toolbar, palette, a set of possible mode and in active mode that are visible to the user. Dialog box is select message box. So okay, listen, that's all we are deeply discussed in this class. Okay, now only the next class only a small topic is there. After that we are going to that's why we show the end of the syllabus. The small topic that is the interactivity paradigms. Okay. So next class I'm going to finish the syllabus. At last, end of the next class, I'm going to tune all the okay. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, time ஆயிடுச்சா?
Okay, ma'am. Wind up. Okay. Okay, students, wind up. Come to join the next class immediately on 30.